Hello everyone. Welcome to today's podcast, where we're going to talk about something that I think is one of the most important lessons for anyone learning English, or any language, really. Today, we'll focus on a mindset that can change your entire language learning experience. Enjoy speaking English. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, how can I enjoy speaking English when I make so many mistakes? When I don't feel confident, or when I'm worried about what others think? That's completely natural. But what if I told you that all those things, the mistakes, the fear, the nervousness, are actually part of what will help you improve? What if I told you that the key to becoming fluent in English is not being perfect, but rather enjoying the process of learning, even when it's messy? One of the first things I want to emphasize is this: never care about how poorly or how well you speak. Many learners get stuck because they are so focused on being perfect. They're worried about making grammar mistakes or not finding the right words. But guess what? Nobody speaks perfectly all the time. Not even native speakers. When you focus too much on perfection, you stop yourself from taking the most important step: just speaking. You don't need to be flawless to communicate effectively. In fact, most of the time, people will understand you even if you make mistakes. The more you speak, the better your English will become. So, embrace imperfection. It's okay to not know everything, and it's okay to get things wrong. In fact, getting things wrong is exactly how you'll improve. Think of it like riding a bike. Do you remember when you first learned it? You probably fell off a few times, right? But each time you got back on, you improved a little more. Learning to speak English is no different. You will fall sometimes, but each time you do, you're getting closer to mastering the language. Here's another important point. Never care about what other people think. Only care about making progress. I know it's hard to ignore the feeling that people are judging your English, but let me tell you this: most people admire the fact that you're learning a new language. They aren't paying attention to your mistakes as much as you think they are. So, instead of worrying about their opinions, focus on the opportunity you have to practice and improve. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become. I can't stress this enough. Speak as much as you can. It doesn't matter if it's with a teacher, a friend, a colleague, or even yourself in front of a mirror. The more you move your mouth, the more your brain and muscles get used to the language. Every time you speak, you're not only practicing the words and sentences, but also building your confidence. Confidence is a huge part of speaking English well. You have to believe in yourself, even when you don't feel 100% ready. The truth is, you'll never feel fully ready, so why wait? Start speaking now, and the confidence will come with time. Now, here's something that might sound strange, but trust me on this: enjoy making mistakes. Yes, you heard me right. Mistakes are not failures, they are lessons. Each mistake you make is teaching you something new. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn. Think about it. When you make a mistake, it forces you to stop and think, to correct yourself, and to find a better way of saying what you want to say. This process is how your brain learns. If you were perfect from the start, you wouldn't learn anything new. So, instead of feeling embarrassed when you mess up, feel excited. It means you're learning. That's what matters. And trust me, no one learns without making mistakes. Even the most fluent English speakers started somewhere. They made hundreds, even thousands of mistakes along the way. But those mistakes didn't stop them, and they shouldn't stop you either. Fear is one of the biggest barriers to speaking English fluently. Many people are afraid of being laughed at, afraid of losing face, or afraid of not knowing the right words. But here's the thing: fear is all in your head. It's not real. The more you let fear control you, the less you'll speak, and the less progress you'll make. So, what can you do? You have to learn to forget about your fear and just go for it. Speak even when you're scared. Speak even when you don't know all the words. Speak even when you feel like you're not good enough. The more you do this, the less afraid you'll become. You'll start to realize that nothing bad happens when you make a mistake. In fact, most of the time, people will help you and appreciate your effort. It's like jumping into a pool of cold water. The first time, it's shocking. But the more you jump in, the easier it gets. Soon, the water doesn't feel so cold, and you start to enjoy the swim. Let's talk about the connection between speaking and learning. Every time you speak, you're reinforcing what you've learned. The more you use the words and sentences you studied, the more they become a part of your memory. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. When you practice speaking, you're not only learning new words and grammar, but you're also training your mouth and brain to work together. Your pronunciation improves, your fluency increases, and your understanding deepens. But this only happens if you speak. You can't learn to speak English well by just studying grammar or memorizing vocabulary. You have to use the language actively. Finally, I want to leave you with this. I believe in you. You can do it. You can speak English well. But the most important thing, that you have to believe in yourself. Don't give up just because it's hard. Don't stop speaking because you're afraid of making mistakes. Keep going, keep trying, and you'll see progress. Remember, every time you move your mouth, every time you practice speaking, you're one step closer to fluency. The road to speaking English well is not a straight line. It's full of twists and turns, ups and downs. But as long as you keep moving forward, you will reach your goal. So, to wrap things up, let's remember the most important points. Don't worry about perfection. Embrace every opportunity to speak. Enjoy making mistakes. Forget about your fear. And most importantly, believe in yourself. Speaking English is not about being perfect. It's about making progress. It's about having fun with the process, learning from your mistakes, and becoming more confident every time you speak. Thank you so much for tuning into today's podcast. I hope this message inspires you to keep speaking English, no matter what. You have the power to improve, and I'm here cheering you on every step of the way. Until next time, take care and keep practicing.